Get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month. You'll get unlimited access to the news you need to stay engaged and connected to your community. Visit duluthnewstribune.com/subscribe now to get 3 months of local news for only 99 cents a month.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Tuesday, May 9th. I'm White Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. Mayor Emily Larson got her wish Monday night when the City Council reversed course and voted not to implement budget cuts it had earlier approved in an effort to rein in property taxes. Following Larson's lead, the council will instead use federal pandemic relief assistance the city received through the American Rescue Plan Act to plug a $382,950 budget gap created when they sought to trim 1% from city administration's proposed 8.9% levy increase. Councilors had previously expressed concerns about using one-time federal funding to cover the city's ongoing operation costs, but Larson pointed out that the picture has changed since the December budget-setting vote. Larson suggested the city's financial outlook has brightened considerably from December when the council voted to approve across-the-board budget cuts. She noted in April that Duluth is now anticipating more than a $5 million boost in local government aid it will receive from the state. But 2nd District Councilor Mike Mayu said the amount of the local government aid increase for Duluth could be a more modest $2 million, based on recent Senate committee proposals. The ordinance to amend the city budget was brought forward by Council President Janet Kennedy, along with her fellow councilors Therese Tomanek and Noah Hobbs. It passed on an 8-1 vote, with 3rd District Councilor Roz Randorf the sole dissenter. Randorf called the approach, quote, a short-term bookkeeping maneuver, end quote. At-large Councilor Eric Forsman noted any increase Duluth receives in local government aid this year may be only temporary and could be subject to change in the future. The reallocation of ARPA funds will leave Duluth with just $38,000 in remaining undedicated federal pandemic relief funding, said City Finance Director Jen Carlson. Noah Schuckman, Duluth's Chief Administrative Officer, earlier walked the City Council through department heads' plans for how to trim spending if the city chooses to proceed with the budget reductions approved in December. He said the fire department would need to cut $72,400 from its budget and would aim to do so primarily through reduced overtime. The police department would need to reduce spending by $98,400 and would likely lose the ability to fill one of its now vacant sworn officer positions. Park and library operations would need to absorb another $53,100 in cuts. And Schuckman said proposed staffing for our community crisis response team would likely need to be reduced as well. A northern St. Louis County woman allegedly fired several shots at her husband after an argument last week. Elizabeth Beatrice Malone, 62, appeared Monday in State District Court on a felony count of second-degree assault and a gross misdemeanor charge of domestic assault with a firearm. The incident occurred Wednesday at the couple's residence in Linden Grove Township, approximately 20 miles west of Cook. According to a criminal complaint, the victim reported that he had packed a bag and was leaving the property after their dispute. He reported that he got to the end of the driveway and heard 3 or 4 popping sounds. The man told deputies he then realized he had forgotten his firearms and drove back to the house with the intention of retrieving them, but instead found Malone standing on the front porch and decided to drive away. As he left, according to the complaint, Malone was in a shooting stance and fired off 2 or 3 more rounds in his direction. Malone, who was arrested without incident, does not appear to have any criminal history. Bail was set at $150,000. Her next court appearance is set for Thursday. After 28 years at the Lake Superior College campus, Creation Station Childcare has closed. The preschool's lease was not renewed because the college needs to build additional classrooms in the child care center's location. Julie Walker, who owns and directs Creation Station with her husband, Bernie, said she found out in December that the preschool's 3-year contract had not been renewed. Since then, they operated the preschool at less than full capacity to prepare for closing. Patricia Rogers, president of Lake Superior College, said she's disappointed that the college couldn't renew Creation Station's contract, but there was no other option. The manufacturing programs are located in leased space downtown, but the building was recently sold to the Human Development Center. The college has until June 2024 to move the welding, computer-aided design, and computerized numerical control programs back to the main LSC campus on Trinity Road. The only feasible place on campus to build space for the programs is the preschool's location, according to architects following state building requirements. Creation Station was licensed for 24 preschool-aged children. Walker said she'd get calls daily to see if she had room to take another child, which she didn't. Since January, they'd capped enrollment at 16 to prepare for closing. Clients included LSC students, faculty, and other Duluth residents. The preschool closed its doors to children at the end of April and is in the process of fully moving out of the college this month. Julie and Bernie Walker have sold all the furniture, toys, books, and equipment from Creation Station to other area childcare providers and have taken on teaching positions at Congdon Creek Preschool. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to you by the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Weather forecast for the greater Duluth area. Areas of fog this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy with temperatures warming up into the low 60s this afternoon. Winds will be out of the south around 5 miles an hour. Temperatures likely a few degrees cooler along the north shore. For tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mostly cloudy, temps dropping down into the middle 40s. Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly widely scattered, with the high temperature getting up into the mid to upper 60s. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the Northland podcast for their support. The weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. In the latest episode, reporter Joe Bowen shares the story of Bluther and Razzleberry, the homemade and now retired mascots of PBS North. You can find that episode and others at duluthnewstribune.news or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Peter Passy, Tom Olson, and Laura Butterbrodt. Thank you for listening to the Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.